Assalamualaikum viewers, hope so you all will be fine and you are watching my channel #learn with Humaira and I am back with another interesting topic that is about principle of communication. Okay viewers, without wasting your time, let's move toward our topic, principle of communication. So you can see here that there are 7 principles of communication. Now let's talk about the very first principle of communication, that is principle of attention. As you all people know that if we want to say something to someone, so we must have to draw his attention toward us. If we will not do so, we cannot convey our message to that person. So in order to make communication effective, the attention of receiver should be drawn toward message. And as we all know that people are different in behavior, attention and different in emotions too. So they may also respond differently to the message, because if a person is different in his behavior, attention and emotion, so he can't be same na in responding, he will be different. Here if we take the example of the manager of some company, so we can assume that the act of the superior also draw the attention of subordinates and they may follow what they observe. If the superior authority means the boss of their company or of their office will good in behavior, so subordinate also follow that behavior. For example, if a superior is very punctual in coming to the office and doing a particular thing in a very decent manner, then subordinates will also develop such habits. Our next principle of communication is principle of clarity. If there is no clarity in our message, in our communications, we cannot convey the exact message what we want to convey. So there should be clarity in communication. The idea or message to be communicated should be clearly spelled out. It should be worded in such a way that the receiver understands the same thing which the sender wants to convey. And please note one thing, that there should be no ambiguity in your message, because if your message will contain some kind of ambiguity, so your communications cannot prove to be effective one. Okay, our third principle of communication is principle of feedback. Feedback is too much important for us to know whether the recipient of the information has understood the meaning, understood the same thing which you want to convey or not. So the principle of feedback is very important to make the communication effective. So when you have done with your message, ask other that either they has understand the meaning in the same sense in which you want to convey them, in which you was meant. And if you are doing some kind of seminar at somewhere, so you have to keep a session of feedback for 5 to 10 minutes in order to know whether the audience has understand your point of view. And if you will take the feedback from your audience or the recipient of your information, so you will be able to know that what their opinion regarding your presentation, regarding your opinion, regarding your message. So must keep the session of feedback. This is very important for you. Okay viewers, our next principle of communication is principle of consistency. That is very much important to know, because if there is no consistency in the message that you are delivering, so your communication can affect badly. This principle states that communication should always be consistent with the policies, with the plans, with the programs and objectives of the organization, and should not be in conflict with them. And if the message and communications both are in conflict with the policies and programs, so then there will be a confusion in the minds of subordinates and they may not implement them properly, because if they are not sure about something, how can they implement them properly on something? So such a situation will be detrimental to the interest of the organization. So the need here is to maintain the consistency between the things. You have to show the consistent behavior in order to manage the things properly. My very dear viewer, please note here one thing, that if you can't express something, that means you don't know it. But you kept on saying that I know what I mean, but you can't explain to a non-specialist, so then that means that you have some kind of private language that other people don't know. So if you don't know something, just leave that and try to learn about that thing. Don't try to say that I know what I mean, and on the top of that you don't know that how to explain it, how to express it. So such behavior can affect your communication badly. The very next principle of communication is principle of timeliness. This principle states that communication should be done at proper time so that it helps in implementing plans. Any delay in communication may not serve any purpose. So must learn that how to manage time for your communication. Because when you are delivering a message to someone, so you also have to listen the point of view of that person to whom you are delivering the message. Our second last principle of communication is principle of informality. As formal communication is very important, same like that informal communication is also very important, because sometimes we cannot get the desired result from formal communication, so we have to get frank with our lower management, with our subordinators, to get the desired result. Sometimes we have to convey the message or decision informally to the employees of company in order to get their feedback, that what they think about that. And in the same way, if we convey that thing in the formal communication, their feedback would be different. But if we convey that thing in informal behavior, so their views can be different. Sometimes the principle of informality is adopted and it considered to be very good to know the perceptions, views, thoughts, feelings of someone regarding something. Our last principle of communication is principle of adequacy. The information communicated should be adequate and complete in all respects, because if your information is not completed and you don't know that what the really mean of your communication is, so your communications cannot be effective one, because inadequate information may delay your actions and create confusions. Inadequate informations also affect efficiency of the receiver. So adequate information is essential for taking proper decision and making action plans. So if you don't have adequate and enough information regarding something, so I don't think so that you will be able to understand the questions that can be asked by the receiver of your information or message. So in order to make your communication effective one, so you have to follow the principle of adequacy. So viewers, this was all about the principle of communication. Hope so you liked the video. If you have any type of questions, any kind of confusion, you can ask me in the comment box. I will surely answer you. And for having more such videos, keep watching my channel #Learn with Humaira. See you in the next video. Till that time, fi amanillah, and thank you for watching.